Good afternoon and welcome to a bit of maintenance day. So focusing on the trailer a little bit today. So over the last couple of weeks I've noticed there's been a couple of little air leaks under here. While someone else was towing the trailer, they actually had to put a new booster on, but as you can hear, they're not exactly tied on. They've used the old hose clamps and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to replace all those today and probably a few hoses as well. Just because, I mean, it's a 15-year-old trailer, so you got to keep on top of a few of these things. Up here, a few of these little airlines as well. They've actually they've split on their own. I haven't rubbed out, so I've already gone through and marked out the ones that really need attention, and I'm going to go and replace them all today. But while I'm under here, you know, also standard stuff of nipping up the brakes, getting them right, and giving it a bit of a grease at the same time. Woo! Love these little crawlers, don't we? Yeah. So all we needed for this is our airline here. So my trailer's running 8mm, and I think it's half inch, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway, so and I've got a whole heap of new hose clamps in these little boxes, and these little buggers they're hard to find. Some olives to go on the end of the airline there, so it plugs back in and has a nice tight seal. So I'll get onto that now. Not very exciting stuff, but we'll see what we can do anyway and make it enjoyable. All right, let's give it a go. All right, welcome to Under the Trailer. So we've all seen this before, but we're just going to quickly nip up the brakes here. So they're all a little bit different, but make sure your brakes are actually released. So I've chocked up the truck. So there you go. That's pretty good actually. That's not too bad out. So do it up nice and tight, and then my trailer, you actually go 3 clicks. So 1, 2, 3. You do that for all 6, and you're pretty well happy days. If you don't have a clicking system like that, usually it's just one full half turn. So sorry, a half a turn. Next thing after that, go and grab a bit of grease. And you got 3 grease nipples on here, so it should only take sort of 1 click. There you go, it's already starting to come out there, so that's all that one needed. Got another one on the side here. Make sure you wipe these off before you put the grease in. There we go, that one. And the last one over the side here. Usually I'm going to feed it through there. And that's the last one. So it's a bit of a bugger to get to this one, but you get the idea. So that's pretty well it. I'll do that one next, and that'll keep your brakes nicely in line. So next step, we'll do all the air. Well, the airlines that I've pigeonholed for needing a little bit of fixing. All right, let's go. Bit cramped under here, but if you can see up here, this is actually an airline that I've deemed as needing replacement. So all you gotta do is just unclip it from there, follow the airline down, take it all off. You got a few little cable ties and that sort of stuff that'll be holding it on. So get all that off, rip it out, measure up a new one, and basically put it in its place. So one thing that you want to do when you're doing airlines is just try and do one at a time. Otherwise, if you do them all, you might forget where some of them go. So we'll get that off, we'll measure it up, and we'll get her on. All right, so to get the airline out, it's pretty easy. You see the little blue part there? All you gotta do is push it all in together and then yank her out. There you go. Simple as that. And you just do the same at the other end. So something that was really pleasing to me when I followed that airline up was, which I didn't realise earlier, it actually went to my scales, which says to me that that one particular airline here is totally different to the rest that's on the trailer, which says to me that the rest are probably going to be good because they're a totally different system and installed at a different time. And that explains why I've been having trouble with this one in particular. You can see where I had to whack a joiner on there during the week just because there was a slight little leak. That one line is going to be the issue, and I'm not going to really have much trouble with the rest because the others all seem pretty good. So all I've got to do here, it's actually going to be a pretty easy exercise for me in the end, is cut that off. Ooh, might want to get that flush. Beautiful. And they'll just plug in at either end. I don't even need these olives or anything anymore. So we'll go along, we'll whack all those in, and I'll just change a couple of airlines to the brake boosters as well, put some new clamps on it, and we'll pretty well be happy days after that, I reckon. I'm pretty happy with this now. Yeah! So there's my scales, there's the airline poking through, so I've just got to get it on the back of that And I'll have to use 2 hands, so but you get the idea. And then I'll run it down the rest of the trailer, back down to here, and we'll join it back up. So I'll give that a decent push. Then all I've got to do is just cable tie the rest up there. It generally helps to put a little bit of dunnage behind it as well, just so over time it doesn't want to wear through on anything else. So always be particular with that, because just a little bit of rub marks ends up just pissing out air, as they say. So that one's nice and easy. Whew, I'm happy with that. With that done, it's time to go down to these brake boosters and do a few of these lines. So a good way to actually test if you've got air leakages and that sort of stuff is with the brakes on and off, go along and just start jiggling all the hoses at the fitting. So the brakes are on at the moment, so you're not going to hear anything here, but I did notice before, there's a little bit of a hiss. You can see a little bit of movement on that. That one's definitely, I'm not happy with that. The airbags are jacked right up, which isn't very normal. So normally there would be a bit of free play there, but I'm going to replace that hose anyway. And just do all these hose fittings also. Because if something's going to go here, it's usually one of these hose clamps. So, all right, let's do a few of these now. Woo! So these airlines are a little bit special because they actually go over the axle and that sort of stuff. So they've got an extra amount of protection, which is bloody good actually. So I'll take them off. So the 2 hoses come off as one. Oh, there you go. 2 separate hoses, but they've got their nice little sock to go in. So we'll feed that out of that. Hopefully it's a little bit easier than what I'm thinking right now. But cut that up again, whack them back on, and bloody easy as that, eh? All right, let's go. Probably been on here for about 10 years. There's not a lot of movement in there, but we'll get there. Same place as the pillows. Yeah. transport merchandise and housing. And that is all she wrote. Pretty simple exercise in the end, it just takes a little bit of time. Last thing you want to do is release the brakes and, you know, get all the air through the system again, make sure there's no more leaks, but apart from that, she's ready to go to work, the Savo. Catch us.